What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Moose Milk Podcast. This is episode 120. 120.
120.
Yeah, buddy. We're just way up there. I'm your host,
Diggity.
Ryan. This is Matthew.
Hi, I'm Matthew.
And we're back after missing
We
last
are back.
week.
We've both been fucking under the weather.
Yeah, we're both not doing too hot, but we're back. Hope you missed us, because I think we've never looked better personally.
Me too. I agree.
Yeah.
My COVID shed a whopping 7 pounds off this thick frame. It's ready for you now.
7 pounds. We're old and fat and just falling apart. It's great.
That's pretty good.
I'm
looking forward to being old. I'm looking forward to being old and fat with you in Toronto soon.
Yeah, buddy. It's going to be a good time. For people that don't know, we're going to Fan Expo in about a month. A little over a month. I believe it's August 23rd, 24th?
Yeah, I think 24th, I think I travel on the 23rd at night because I'm doing the red eye. So
right. So I think it's the 24th to the 27th in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, for people that want to go to Fan Expo or join us or meet us or stalk us. I mean, here we are. We're
true.
Never looked better, like I said. So you can look at our hot ass as we walk around the streets of Toronto.
Check out this sick hot bod.
It's going to be very interesting to see what happens, because I have a feeling a lot of these celebrities are going to cancel because of the strike. I don't know what's
the thing with Comic-Con next week, Comic-Con San Diego next week, and it's like, yeah, everybody pulled out, like fucking everyone.
Well, Fan Expo posted a thing that said, like, as of right now, nobody's canceled. Like, they are allowed to come to fan events. They just can't promote anything.
Right.
Whether that holds true, I have a feeling it won't, but who knows, maybe by the end of August, like, this thing's solved.
It might be like, I mean, I don't really know, so I shouldn't say for like, this isn't, me knowing anything, but like, they might be allowed to go, but it might be one of those things where it's like kind of like crossing a picket line where it's like kind of frowned upon with it. So, I bet you we start seeing people kind of bail, right? So
yeah, I think they'll pivot if that's the case, and they'll probably invite people from other things that can not necessarily actors, but whatever the case may be. But I mean, that's not the reason we're going. We're going to hang out.
I don't care about any of that stuff. I just want to hang out.
I wouldn't mind going to a panel or two, but like, honestly, I just want to hang out with my friend and look at nerdy shit and go out and have fun. And
I just want to jerk off on a few booths, like a couple, just randomly.
They allow that, actually.
And toss my dick around and like.
That's the best part too. Is like, there's a lot of obviously like collectibles and like figures and all that kind of stuff, but then there is like a whole art section of people that are just like extremely talented that do art. So like, it's fun to just like look at people's shit and go like, holy fuck, man.
Yeah, actually there's a couple things I'm looking for when we go, is because with my move coming up and having that studio, I'm looking for some cool art pieces to buy and bring home with me. I'm also looking for enamel pins. I have found a way to display all my enamel pins. I've been kind of like slowly collecting, like, you know what I'm talking about? Those like, So I've been kind of slowly kind of getting into that stuff, but I've kind of been like hesitant on pulling the trigger on a lot of them because like I don't really have anywhere to display them. Like I don't, you know what I mean? I kind of just rotate them through my work bag or whatever, but so in the new studio, I'm like kind of like above like my workspace before it gets to the cupboards above it. I'm going to put like a wall of just cork.
Nice.
And then I'm just going to have a section where I can like plug them all onto there. And
that's cool, man.
So yeah.
For people that don't know, Matt, it will be moving in the near future, and we may have
by this time next week, background is going to probably look a lot different.
Well, there may be a week or two that we miss just because
for sure
Matt's moving and he's going to be a very busy boy, but we're going to finish out Secret Invasion.
Yes.
And then between that and Ashoka, we may miss a few weeks, maybe several weeks. We're not really sure.
Realistically, I'll be good until August, the Saturday after the 8th, whatever day that is. I don't know what day that is.
Yeah. So there may be 2 weeks that we miss in the beginning of August. And,
hi, Neil.
I didn't even see it. Exactly. There's so much cosplay, and
cosplay is great too.
It's awesome. There's a lot of beautiful humans that go to these events that like put a lot of time into their cosplay.
I have my Customs by Matthew shirts that just came in that I'm going to wear.
I saw that. Very nice.
And I have a hat that's coming too. So when I'm not wearing my CBM hat shirt, I'll wear my hats.
Beauty.
Okay.
It should be a good time. I hope that we meet some fun people.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. There's a few people on my list that I'm hoping to connect with while we're there. So hopefully we'll be able to make it happen.
For sure. What else is up?
Nothing, man. I'm working on some WWE figures right now.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah.
So we're doing some repaints on some stuff because some of the older figures have like not good face paint. So I'm kind of redoing them. I'm going to work on tonight. I'm going to work on both Legion of Doom members and Jim the Anvil Neidhart and Edge and Tatanka. And I went crazy this week. I bought a bunch of shit because I got my bonus. I was like, I'm just going to buy a bunch of random figures. So yeah, I got,
I'm scared to see how much you spend at Fan Expo. I'm very scared.
Well, I mean, I'll probably have to keep it chill because of the house, right? But this was kind of like the last kind of little bit of stuff that I've been like looking at on eBay for a while. And I've just like, finally, I was like, you know what? I got this sweet bonus. I have nothing on my credit card. I'm going to fucking spend some money. So I got Yokozuna, I got Bam Bam Bigelow, I got Vader, I got Christian, and I got Brian Pillman. So they're all coming in hot. Oh, and the Dudley Boys.
Jesus, you better get some tables with that. And Stacy Keebler.
That'd be cool too. Yeah, so I was gonna have one shelf for wrestling in the new setup, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna probably need a second shelf now. So
yeah, buddy, you're as you stopped collecting MCU figures, you just doubled down on wrestling figures. But
yep, that's my wrestling space, and that's not, it's missing probably, including the incoming ones, probably about 13 of them, 14 of them.
Buddy.
How about you? What have you been doing?
Not a whole lot. Taking it easy, relaxing around the house.
Nice.
Yeah, just watching a lot of stuff. Nothing too crazy.
Is it hot there?
It has been like, I don't know, it's been raining a lot, so it's kind of been off and on, but it's been about 30 like for the last couple weeks. But
it's fucking hot as dicks here, man. It's so hot.
I honestly haven't gone out much, so it's hard for me to say, but it rained most of the day today.
Did it?
Yeah.
We haven't had rain in like a couple of weeks, but we're supposed to get some on Monday, I think. But yeah, it's hot.
It's supposed to be like high 20s.
Tomorrow's supposed to be like 33.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's a spicy meatball.
Hell's yeah, it is.
Hopefully Toronto, it's nice. It's so much better when fucking the weather's nice and it's not fucking raining every day.
Ridiculous. Yeah, I agree.
What'd you watch this week or the last 2 weeks? What'd you?
I feel like you, because I feel like I actually got a lot of stuff in. So I had COVID, for anybody who doesn't know.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of bedridden for 3 or 4 days there. So I caught up on a bunch of stuff. I didn't even say catch up. I watched a bunch of stuff that.
What else are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. So I watched some old MCU stuff. I was feeling like watching something with Captain America in it because I was just missing Chris Evans, I guess. I don't know. As we do. So yeah, I watched Civil War to start.
Nice.
And then I was like, you know what? That was fun to see Spider-Man get introduced. I think I'm gonna watch Spider-Man Homecoming. So then I watched Spider-Man Homecoming, and then I was like, all right, I want more Captain America. So then I watched Infinity War, and then to top her all off, I finished up with Endgame, and it made me sad because I was like, we talked about this a bit on Whip Wednesday when you jumped on, but it's like it was fucking great, man. It was so good. And I was just like, man, how come it's not like that anymore?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it a bit on Whip Wednesday. For people that missed that, you can go over to Matt's channel on YouTube at Customs by Matthew and check out. He had a guest on, and then I popped on a little bit after that. But yeah, we kind of talked about how the MCU is just not hitting the way it used to, and like whether that's because we're 32 movies in, or is just
it's not that. It's not that. I mean, you can put some blame on that. You can put some blame on that, but the fact of the matter is that like Civil War and Endgame and Infinity War were exciting for what they were, sure, but like the quality in the story is just so drastically different than what we get right now.
No, I think that's part of it too. I think it just naturally is not being done as well, but I also think it's like we're getting too much content. Like I think it's, we don't miss it anymore. We're not excited for it anymore. And like I was really excited for Secret Invasion, and it's just not hitting for me. Like we'll get into it a little bit later in the episode, but like I was just like, yeah, it's fine. I'm not overly excited about it. You know, Neil saying the new Transformers, it sucked. I definitely didn't. I haven't seen like probably the last 5 or 4. I think I've seen the first 2.
Yeah, I think I only saw the first one, and I saw the opening scene of Bumblebee because I heard everyone say it was really cool, and I was like, oh, okay.
I meant to watch Bumblebee just because people said it was like the best one, but like I never got around to it. Maybe I'll check it out eventually. Neil says I rewatched Love and Thunder just to make sure it did suck, and to my surprise, found it sucked even harder. I haven't rewatched anything post Shang-Chi, I think.
I started Love and Thunder back in like November, and I was like, nah, we're gonna stop. So I shut it off.
Like I kind of wanted to rewatch Quantumania and Love and Thunder and Guardians 3, and I'm like, I'm not in the mood for
I'm ready for Guardians 3. I'll be rewatching Guardians 3 for sure. But
I don't know, it's not hitting. It's not intriguing me like phase
Guardians 3 felt like how I felt when I watched old stuff. So see, that's another reason where I'm like, it's not that we're 32 movies in. Movie 32 came out and it was as good as
but that's characters we already had a relationship with and knew, where all the other movies are mostly new characters. I don't know. I think there's a lot of issues, but like
I do too. It's not just one thing.
Now that the actors are all on strike, like all these movies are going to get pushed. Deadpool 3 is definitely going to get it pushed because they just walked off set. So like all these movies, I almost have a feeling we're not going to get anything next year. And
I think so too.
Other than maybe a few Disney Plus shows, and like I have a feeling that's going to be actually really good for everything. I think the quality can only get better.
I think it's going to take some time to get everything back up and running. So
I do too. I think the rest of the year is pretty much scratched.
It's like I said to you though yesterday when we were talking in the DMs. It's like it should be interesting to see because you kind of reference this whole scenario to like the music the music industry and how like people stopped buying CDs once Napster came around, and now you fast forward like 15 years later, 20 years later, and artists still aren't making money off their music. They're having to find other avenues, and like Spotify's here, right? And it's like it should be interesting to see, like, what's going to happen now. Like, are we going to be done with the days where actors are making like, $1 million to be in a movie? Like, because like the return's just not going to be there. You know what I mean? Like it's
no. And I don't know. I see both sides of it, right? Where like, the music industry, it crippled the music industry, and it is never going to come back. Like there's no way that you could go back to people buying physical media outside of like, the very, very unique collector that goes and buys vinyl like I do or whatever. But like, it's a very small, community there. Agreed. And with streaming, they remove the reason for people to want to buy physical media. There's no reason to own a Blu-ray. There's no reason to DVD, whatever. So like, I think once you take that away and people think that everything is free, it's very hard for people to go back to a theater or go back to buying physical media because there's no reason to. Okay, I'll wait for it to be on Netflix. I'll wait for it to be on Disney Plus, so on and so forth. And I think that's why you're seeing all these box offices so small. It's like, I'm not going to go spend, especially if you have a family, $100 on an outing to go see a movie when it'll be on Disney Plus in 3 months, and we can, have some popcorn. The kids aren't going to be crazy at home.
Well, then it's nice because you can stop as you need to.
Right. We can pause. Kids got to go bathroom. Yeah, exactly. So like, I
you're in a lot more control. So
especially with how long some movies are these days. Like 3 hours is a huge commitment for a family to sit in a movie, or 2.5 hours or whatever. So I don't know. I think it's going to have a very hard time getting theaters back.
I do too. I think in this time.
Oh, Finnegan. My dog is all tangled in my fucking headphones.
Take care of it. You can do what you gotta do. Aw, hi Finn, you sweet little thing.
Oh, he's something. He's not sweet.
I think the thing that's I think is going to be interesting is, in this time that, content is going to stop, because there's probably still enough content in the tubes for to keep movies coming for the rest of the year or whatever, right? But if this goes on long term, movie theaters aren't going to be able to survive without content for.
Well, they're going to do the nostalgia poll, right? They're going to play movies. 80s, 90s, 2000s movies that they can.
But still, if you can't get people in the
Totally.
seats for big box office blasts, stuff that's coming out now and stuff,
totally.
How is that going to work?
Well, especially if this lasts a long time, I think movie theaters will die.
I do too.
If this is a year-long strike or a 6-month-long strike and we have no content for a year, theaters won't last.
Yeah. I don't want to get too sidebarred. We could talk about that in a couple of weeks. I'm sure it'll still be relevant. But I also watched that new Tom Segura stand-up, Sledgehammer.
I watched it too, yeah.
Shit was fucking funny, man.
Yeah, it's
laughing
good.
my ass off. So and then I was in stand-up mode, so I watched Dimitri Martin. You know who that is?
I know. I'm not really familiar with his stuff.
Yeah, he's he's not hilarious or anything. He's just kind of joke after joke after joke, but he's good. He's funny-ish, I guess. And then we almost finished Ted Lasso. We have the last episode tomorrow.
It's long.
So,
I think the last episode's over an hour long. I think.
Oh, really?
I think
okay. So. How bad am I going to cry?
Not too bad. I mean,
I've been crying already, just for the record. So if that gives you any,
maybe a little bit, but there are some sad episodes there. But I don't know. I teared up a couple times, but it wasn't it wasn't Guardians level where I was bawling.
No. I'm not bawling. To me, it's more happy tears.
Yeah,
because it just it's so feel good and just everything. Even the whole angle with Rory and Jamie. It kind of as we kind of close the series off.
Uh-oh. Matt froze.
I am?
Yep. Or I froze.
I think you might have froze because I hear you. Are you?
I don't know. Your screen completely froze for me.
Well,
you're back now.
But yeah, I even that whole angle, right, with Jamie and Rory, and it's
Rory. You mean
Roy?
Roy, yeah.
Sorry, I thought you said Rory.
Yeah,
I did say Rory, but I meant Roy.
Okay, yeah, Roy. I love all the characters. I love all the different little side stories that go on throughout this show that's based on soccer team.
Yeah, which is weird because really in the whole series, there's maybe 10 minutes of soccer.
Yeah, it's not a soccer show.
It is, but it is. Yeah,
it's more. The team building and the team dynamics and everything like that. But yeah, I love
tonight on the second last episode, we find out Beard, Coach Beard's kind of origin, and man, I fucking cried. Cried my eyes out. I was just oh my god,
Beard's awesome.
Yeah. So So and then the last thing we started, I think I mentioned this before, but maybe I didn't. We started watching The Sopranos.
Yeah, I think you mentioned it to me. I don't know if you mentioned it on the podcast.
I don't think I said it on the show, but I think I told you. But yeah, we've been watching The Sopranos, so we're not that far. We're I don't know. It kind of got put on hold once we got Apple TV because we're let's watch Ted Lasso instead. Yeah. So so we are about maybe 5 or 6 episodes in, something like that.
It's okay. I don't know. I enjoyed it for what I watched, but I definitely burnt out on it because it just felt very samey to me after the first 2 seasons. I was just all right, I think I've seen enough of this.
How many seasons is it? Do you know?
I think 7.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a lot, and I kind of have that my sister was talking about this because I was watching The Bear, and I'll get into that in a minute. But the lead actor from The Bear was in a show called I don't remember what the hell it's called right now. It's on Netflix, but it fucking is 11 seasons, and I was man, I don't know if I want to commit to a show for 11 seasons.
That's too much, yeah.
And my sister's oh, I'm the opposite. That compels me to watch it because I know that I'm gonna watch it for months on end, and I'm
you're gonna watch it get worse. That's nothing really.
Nothing's great for 11 seasons.
Yeah, nothing gets better after 11 seasons. That's just not how it works.
There's a solid 6 in there, and then it just. Shameless.
Yeah.
Neil's in the chat telling me, yeah.
Oh yeah, Shameless. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just 11 seasons. It's just such a commitment.
Yeah, too much.
So
have you ever watched Shameless?
No, I haven't. I've never.
I feel like you would like it. I've seen some episodes. Kate likes it.
Southtown Pain App says, which is sad. The physical media is not as popular because I have many streaming platforms. Yet I like maybe 2 shows or movies from each one. With DVDs, I love the extra features. Yeah, I've talked a little bit about that before, where I think that Netflix would do, or Disney Plus would do well with having more extra features for like their live content of like behind the scenes stuff or commentary or stuff like that you could turn on. And I don't think they really dived into that too much, but yeah, it's a different era, man. Like I just don't think there's too much content, and I don't think people want to stick around for watching bonus features anymore. Like I think that's a very small community of people.
I was just gonna say it's very much in the same vein as, like you said, people who buy vinyl, right? Yeah, it's just like there's people who appreciate the art of the movie or the music, and then there's people who appreciate like the experience of like going to see a movie or enjoying an album as a whole. Like,
and there's a lot of people that will never watch a movie again. Like they'll watch it once, and that's
it. Yeah,
that they're out. Like my parents,
I would say that's probably the majority of people.
Yeah, like a lot of I would say 90% of people watch a movie once and it's gone and it's out of their mind and they don't think about it. Where there's movies I've seen probably 100 150 times.
Yeah,
like,
me too. I can't. It's embarrassing to tell you.
Yeah,
I've seen some stuff.
Exactly.
I mean, Arrested Development seasons 1 to 3, like probably like not exaggerating. Like I bet you almost like 70 times.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
I mean, I go through The Office almost every year. I go through, I've gone through Friends multiple times. I've gone through Seinfeld multiple times. I've gone through The Office multiple times. Like, there's a certain shows where you just go back to. It's just that good.
Totally.
It's like a friendship almost. It's just like a nice, calm feeling. But, yeah. So anyway, were you done with everything you watched? I don't know. We're going on tangents.
Yeah.
So yeah, I watched The Bear, and I want to shout that fucking show out because it's incredible. It's a show that once you guys are done Ted Lasso, you should or I know you got Apple Plus right now, but you should definitely check out because I think you both would like it. It's on Disney Plus. First season. I think the second season comes out on it next week. I want to say.
How many episodes is it?
I think total it's like 18.
Okay.
Like first season I think is 8, and the second season I think is 10, something like that. Okay. It's not a huge commitment. Most of the episodes are 30 minutes. There's a couple that are a little longer. There's an episode in season 2 that's an hour, but it's probably the best episode of TV I've seen outside of maybe Succession. It's a very Succession-esque, but it's fucking really, really well-written show, really well-acted show. For people that don't know, the basic storyline is the lead actor is like a professional chef. Very famous. He's like basically like not like famous celebrity wise, but like he's like one of the top chefs in the industry or the best chef. And he works at one of the top restaurants in the industry, and his brother dies and he has to come back home and take over the family restaurant, and it's like failing miserably. And he's basically trying to turn it around. And that's like kind of the basic premise of the show. And it's very, very, very good. Very good.
Nice.
So I don't know if it's everywhere, but Disney Plus in Canada at least. So check it out.
Cool.
I watched a bunch of movies last week. One of which was Training Day.
Nice.
I love Training Day. It's one of my favorite films.
I don't think I've seen Training Day.
Oh, it's fucking superb.
That's an older movie, right? That's like from
2000,
early 2000s,
3 maybe.
Yeah.
Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington.
Fucking really good. So I watched that. I watched The Mask with Jim Carrey.
Nice.
I was in the mood for it. Just something I've seen.
Somebody
countless.
Stop me.
Exactly. Love that movie. What else did I watch? I felt like, I Know What You Did Last Summer was the other movie I watched. That movie does not hold up.
I can imagine.
It's really bad. Like shockingly bad, where I was like, holy shit, this movie's bad. Like,
I remember when it came out and I was like, I don't understand why everyone thinks this is so great. And then
it's so PG.
I don't remember it necessarily being that. I just remember it not. I remember there being a lot of plot holes where I'm like, that doesn't add up.
No, it feels like they didn't have a script like for half the movie, where it was just like, we're just gonna run out here and do this and then run over there and do that. Like, hey,
Neil's got the priorities.
Yeah, it's just 11 seasons, man. It's like over 100 episodes. It's just it's a commitment. I don't know.
It's a commitment.
I'll we'll see. I might give the first season a try and see if it hooks me, but
you can always watch it in segments. Like you can always watch like a couple seasons, take a break.
I have a hard time going back to things though.
Do you?
Yeah,
you might feel compelled. You might feel compelled to just blast through fucking 11 seasons.
Yeah, I am that type of person, but
I feel like you would like it because just from what I've seen of it, I feel like you would like it.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm all my shows are ending right now, pretty much. So I will have some time.
You might be on the market soon.
Yeah, because The Idol finished last Sunday, and wow, that show sucks. I love the premise of it. Like, there's stuff in it that I like. I think there's an idea there that's actually really cool. Right. But the last episode was fucking abysmal. Like one of the worst finales to a season I've ever seen in my life. It's not.
Didn't it get canceled? Did it get canceled?
I don't know. There's rumors it's been canceled since it started, but I don't know where else they'd go with it. I mean, the show is not good. It's a mess of a show that has a good ideas throughout, but it's just
just can't carry it out.
It can't work. It was only 5 episodes, and it can't work. So, Platonic finished. Did you ever get to watch Ravenous with Guy Pearce? No, I have no idea what that is. Never seen it.
It's with Guy Pearce. You should check it out.
I like Guy Pearce, but I've never even heard of it. Is it a show or is it a movie? Let me know. Where's it at?
It's a movie.
The show Platonic with Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne finished its first season. It was I enjoyed it. I watched Bad Neighbors as well after that because
nice.
I was in the mood for more Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne. And
nice. That's a good movie.
Yeah. If you like Bad Neighbors, you'd like Platonic. It's the same style of show, and they have the same chemistry, and it's good. Nice. Let's see what else here we got. Jack Ryan's final season just ended yesterday with 6 episodes.
That's the one with John Krasinski, right?
Yeah. It's good. I mean, if you like spy espionage shows, it's worth checking out. Yeah, it's not up your alley, but what else do we got?
It's a movie, says Neil.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of it, but I'll check it out. I don't remember, but that's possible. My memory is a very short-term memory. If it's streaming, I'll check it out tonight. I definitely have not heard of it though. There's a new documentary on Netflix called Quarterback, which is getting me hyped for the NFL season. I think 8 episodes long, but follows 3 different quarterbacks in the NFL over the last season. Of how they prepare and like stuff going on in their lives and how that interferes with the season. And it was an interesting look into the NFL. If you're a big football fan, yeah, I mean, if you're into football, like I think it's worth a watch. It was interesting, but I'm
just kidding.
Yeah, and then I watched a documentary on Disney Plus called Stolen Youth about this like cult that kind of sprung up out of a university in the States about this I don't know, this like dad basically like took over this like dorm room and started like a cult out of like 8 of the students, and it was really fucked up. It's like 3 episodes long, but yeah, it was
cults are pretty fucked up.
Cults are so interesting, but they're so fucked up. Fucked up.
Totally. It also makes me realize there's a lot of dumb people out there, and I should probably start a cult.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is like the guy was
likable.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Very likable. Yeah. I feel bad for the people. Like, it's not even that they were dumb. Like, one person was a doctor, and they just like they get manipulated and slow manipulations and a lot of gaslighting, and all of a sudden, it's on Disney Plus. Yep. Cool. It's called Stolen Youth. 3 episodes. It's like 3 hours.
I might have to check that out.
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's really fucked up. Yeah, that's it. So
nice. Before we get into our topics, I know we might end up going a little longer tonight, but quickly, what'd you think of Wolverine and Deadpool shot?
I like it. I don't think it's perfect, but I like the shot. I'm very worried this whole movie is going to leak. Way too much stuff is coming out of like, we're almost a year away from this movie, and like I feel like I know everything about this movie already.
Yeah, I think there's a difference between knowing the beat of the story and, you know, knowing you're going to get cameos and knowing what the story is about. But I'll reserve judgment. But yeah,
especially with this break that's going to happen because of the strike, I have a feeling that it's either going to do one of two things. The script is going to get out and people are going to be like well aware of it, or this will be good for the movie and we're not going to hear a peep about it until they have a new date and they're back filming it and whatever. But like, I don't know. I really hope this movie's great, but like I'm very, very nervous about Disney fucking this up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only as nervous as I am about all the other MCU stuff, but yeah.
Well, I just think.
What did you think of Wolverine's costume?
It's fine. I don't think it's perfect, but like I like that it takes the yellow from the comics and everything. But like I think it's still a little MCU-ish.
It looks like a bottle of mustard. That picture of them walking together looks like a bottle of ketchup and mustard. I gotta be real, man. Like, I've been wanting a more comic accurate costume for X-Men stuff, but it's not doing it for me. I'm not liking it.
I don't mind it, but I mean, it's better than skin tight black leather.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how. I think they want to stick towards the more comic-ish stuff, just because
it's like I was saying on Wednesday about how they're sticking. I like that they're sticking with the goofiness and the wackiness of the comics, but it's just for. There's a couple things I think they could have done to make it look better, but I just overall I'm not really on. I'm not. Yeah.
Well, I also think with X-Men 97 coming out, they want to kind of stick to that look.
Yep. I get it.
But yeah,
it's not even his 90s look though. That's the thing. It's more based on his astonishing X-Men look from the later, like the.
But I also think that could be like a 10-minute scene in the movie where he's in that costume, and then
maybe.
Like I doubt he's wearing that the entire movie.
I would have been happier if they did like the brown and tan suit. I feel like you could make that feel a little bit less goofy.
Sure.
Southtown Pain App says, I can just imagine with all the so-called cameos that when he encounters, say, Daredevil and Elektra, he time warps to go to that merry-go-round scene and say just how cheesy that scene was.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that Elektra's in this movie is, that's super interesting.
Huh, that's a good point too. Neil said, "Are those cameos even happening? Heard a ton of cameo rumors for the last Spider-Man, and most of them were false." That's fair.
I mean, who knows?
There was a lot of cameo rumors about from No Way Home for sure.
We won't know until we see it, but like I think the Elektra thing's pretty solid. It makes sense. It seems right up.
Especially with that Fox logo in the background on the scene there, I feel like it's kind of a given that we're going to see all those characters. Whether they're just glorified cameos or actually play a part, it's hard to say, but
I think it would be very small cameos. But
me too. That's what
I think seeing Halle Berry with his short hair, like that guarantees that Storm's going to be in it at some point.
Yeah.
The fact that like Deadpool 2 made fun of how low budget it was and they couldn't afford all the other X-Men, and like them actually calling that out in the movie, like I think you'll get all the cameos
I do too.
As they kill them off or whatever the actual storyline of the movie is. But
I hope we get the Fantastic Four and he makes a Captain America joke when he sees Chris Evans.
I think that's bound to happen.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't know if we'll get all of them. I assume, like, I don't know if we'll get Jessica Alba in there and all that, but like I definitely think that he'll be there.
Yeah. And then the other thing I was going to ask you about before we get into Always Sunny was Ashoka trailer.
I was just going to say the Ashoka trailer. Yeah. I loved it. I don't know a ton about the character, obviously, because I'm not into the animated shit, but like the trailer got me very excited for the show. I was like, "Ooh, this looks really good."
I wish time was on our side and we had more of it before I moved, and like free time, because like they put out that essential viewing to like watch before Ahsoka. I mean, there's a lot there, but like there's some that we could pick and choose from, and like it'd be fucking cool to go over that with you.
I think I could probably handle it. Like I'm definitely not going to read the books that was recommended.
No, I wouldn't read the books either. That's going to be for Thrawn more than anything else. But you can get some Thrawn from the Rebel episodes they chose too. So
yeah.
But
I mean, I might do it. I don't know. I thought about it, but like,
at least the Rebel stuff is good to know.
I think I'd watch one episode and be like, God, I can't watch 35 more of these. Like,
yeah. If you just stuck with the Rebel stuff, I think you'd be good. But
it's just the animated shit, man.
I know.
It's just
I get it. I understand. But I will say that the stories are definitely compelling. So yeah, I gotta watch Rebels.
It's just not my thing, man. I
Pretty
like
fantastic.
I said, yeah.
Pretty fantastic.
Before we get into Always Sunny, it's a Moose Milk Dumpster Fire time. What is the worst comedy sequel out of these four? Critically.
Worst. Oh, like
on
not
IMDb.
box office, like rated. You mean
IMDb?
Okay.
We got Super Troopers 2,
2?
Anchorman 2, Dumb and Dumber 2, and Zoolander 2.
I think it's Zoolander.
You are correct.
I thought it was. I remember Zoolander got fucking just lambasted.
You're 2-1, buddy. You are 2-1. You're doing
fucking nailing that shit.
Nailing it. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Oh, that's a good thing. I didn't know that. Neil says not my thing either, but Rebels is great.
Fair.
Yeah, I was watching a podcast the other day, and they were talking about Rebel, or like a live stream the other day, and Rebels came up, and somebody said the same thing. They were like, I don't really do the animated stuff. Like, he was like, I don't really like Clone Wars, but Rebels is like some of my favorite. Which, like, I agree. I mean, I don't mind some Clone Wars, but yeah, Rebels, like, as a whole, if you take like the whole story or the lore of the story, I think Rebels is probably my second favorite Star Wars. You know, I think Empire beats it, and like, you know, New Hope might beat it too, but you know, I would say it's probably a pretty close tie to Return of the Jedi.
Oh wow. Oh
yeah, I love it. It's so good. It's good storytelling, and like the characters are just very compelling.
Yeah, I just hate the look of it. It looks so bad.
I understand.
I'm very like
pretty quick, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Very particular about how animation looks. I don't know why, but like the Pixar stuff I can handle. There's a few like I mean the old like 90s cartoons like Spider-Man and X-Men and shit, like as bad as it looks, I can handle it. But like
I don't think it looks bad. I even think it aged pretty good.
It looks fairly bad at some points. Like
maybe some.
I mean I have nostalgia for it, but like it doesn't look great. But I don't know, something about the Star Wars style, it just looks so like childish. It's like
yeah, I can totally see what you say there for sure. They like really lean into an animated look.
Yeah. Always Sunny, we got 2 episodes. Thank you, Neil. Words of wisdom to live by right there, buddy.
Nice. Neil's always got the fucking words of wisdom.
Yeah, he's killing it.
Always Sunny.
Episode 6 and 7 here.
We only have one more?
Yeah, we got one more next week, and then that's it for the show. I didn't mention either. What We Do in the Shadows came back with the first 2 episodes. I just watched that too.
Oh, was that season 3, right?
Season 5.
Oh, yeah, nice.
I love that show, and I mean the first 2 episodes didn't crush it, but it still made me happy to see it come back. So, nice. If you're into comedy, I recommend What We Do in the Shadows. But I don't know. I wasn't as high on these Always Sunny episodes, but like I thought there were points in it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like as a whole, this season is kind of going that. I mean, again, I think it's hard when you're this deep into it. Yeah. What I will say that I appreciate over the last season is it's nice to see all of these side characters back. I'm sad we haven't gotten to see Cricket yet, but
he was in that like one episode for like 30 seconds. But
I guess yeah. But yeah, it was cool to see the twins back in the bowling one, and Artemis and Snail.
Yeah, fucking Gale the Snail. Nobody likes salting another person, but you got to do it. I love the cameos and stuff. It just definitely really feels like they're not in character this season to me. Like it doesn't have the same acting or something. I don't know if it's because of the podcast and I'm so used to seeing them now as themselves. I don't know what it is, but like
I agree. I especially felt it on the last episode. It just
feels off. Yes.
Like the bowling one very much felt like they were just like half playing characters.
Totally. Other than D. D's the only one that really felt like in character to me.
Yeah, sure.
The 3 guys to me felt very off the entire episode.
Yeah, I agree. I liked the Risky Rat one though. That was a fucking funny one.
Yeah, I mean, I never went to Chuck E. Cheese as a kid, so like
really?
No.
I have a horror memory of Chuck E. Cheese.
A horror memory?
Like a horror. Like when like it like stayed with me forever. Like I was in Chuck E. Cheese in Michigan, and it was for like a birthday party for this guy that I went to school with. I was young, and I went into the bathroom, and someone had diarrhea all over the floor, and it was like fucking everywhere. And like it's like my only memory of Chuck E. Cheese is like seeing like this like river of fucking
shit,
liquid shit all over the floor.
And that's the memory you want to keep. You want to get that on a Christmas ornament.
That's the one.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never been because I never went to the States as a kid, like almost ever, and they didn't have them in Canada when I was a kid. So
Frank leaves with have a threesome with Artemis and Gail in the bowling alley bathroom. I laugh so hard.
Yeah. I mean, there was a few moments that made me laugh in both episodes, but like overall, I thought they were fairly weak episodes. The Risky Rat episode I thought was better than the bowling episode.
Me too. I like the Risky Rat one a lot. It was pretty funny.
It's very like I just watched a small YouTube doc on the fall of Chuck E. Cheese, and like people finding like the fucking animatronic like creatures or whatever in the dump, and then like how like terrifying they look, and like that's what this episode reminded me of the whole time is like
you know, took her breasts.
Yeah, like just how fucked up the 80s was and how like parenting and things have changed so much like in 30 years. Like Frank saying like how they used to take a paddle to you in the back room in the 50s, and it's like, well, they didn't do that. And then like Dee saying when we were kids it was really racist, and like it's like, yeah, that was the 80s. Like
it was funny getting the different generations with Frank's version and then with Dee and the other guy's version.
Yeah,
it's like
there used to be a bar in here where the parents were just blackout drunk. It's
like I'm going to the bar. He's like, there is no bar here.
Yeah,
I like when Mac gets in the fight with that kid.
Yeah.
They go to the timeout room.
There are no rules. You can do whatever you want.
This is America.
Yeah, it's great. Mac always makes me laugh, but it had some great moments, but I just like I said, it's not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah, no, I agree. I am laughing. Like, don't get me wrong. I do. The thing is they are just funny guys. Even when they're not feeling like they're in character, they're still fucking funny. Totally. And like even when it feels like they're not giving it like they're 100% into like character mode, the writing is still funny. So like it ends up still delivering, right? But But I don't know. It was okay. They both of them were. I think I like the Risky Rat one better. I can't remember how the song goes, but like the song they wrote for the beginning song for. Oh my god, I was laughing so hard. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Neil saying, I laughed so hard when I found out the chess episode is based off real allegations in a major match between two players earlier this year. Yeah, I knew about that, but going into the episode, that's it's fucked up, but
it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, them calling out, they've always made fun of real life events throughout the seasons, but like, it just definitely feels like they're kind of homing it in at this point.
Yeah,
which is disappointing. But like you said, after 16 seasons, what are you going to do?
Well, I think even like. Because remember, they kind of took a break from the podcast so they could wrap up the writing for the season. So like, like I feel like they're probably struggling to even like find things to do to keep it fresh now, right? Like,
yeah, I think that's inevitable. Like we've talked about with all these shows that have gone on for
even like the MCU conversation we just had,
35 seasons or fucking 31
hard
movies
to keep
or whatever.
Hard to keep it fresh when you're deep in it.
Yeah. But yeah, they were both solid enough that I laughed, but they're not going to be on anybody's top 10 list for best episodes.
Yeah, true. I would agree with that.
How about?
So we have one more. Do we know what the last episode is?
Yeah, it's Dennis takes a mental health day. I have a feeling it's going to have a lot of good moments just because Dennis is such a psycho, but
I feel like Dennis is the one that's out of character the most, though. Like I feel like Glenn is just Glenn doing Dennis lines.
Yes.
So that's slightly concerning, but
yes, I definitely feel like he's had enough. I don't know if that's true. I'm not speaking for him, obviously. I don't. Yeah. I don't know. I've never heard.
I wonder who of that group is keeping it going.
Well, we also got to think too. Is like Danny DeVito is probably fucking ready to. I mean, I don't know, but like,
he's still doing stuff. He's in the Haunted Mansion, so I mean, it's not like he's not doing shit. He's still acting.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure he has fun with it. I'm just saying, like, I'm sure he's like ready to tap out on it too. So like,
Like he sounded like he was pretty excited to go on that Danny DeVito episode on the podcast back in December. Like,
yeah,
he was,
I think it probably keeps him young, like hanging out with
those guys,
and like fucking just doing batshit crazy shit as Frank. Like, I'm sure it keeps him happy and having a laugh or whatever. But like
even the bowling one, there's some crazy ass shit. Like when he puts the chili in the fucking bowling ball holes and is dipping the fries in it, I was like, oh, that's fucking disgusting.
That like literally made me want to gag. I'm like, there's nothing grosser I can think of than doing that right now. Like, yeah, we need a Frank centric episode for sure.
Yeah,
I would love. Like they did Mac Day and D Day. I would love if they had a Frank Day episode.
Yeah, that would be pretty fun.
Because
I feel like they didn't use D a lot this season.
No, they didn't. Definitely didn't.
Like, I feel like she was just there to make fun of and hang up on and stuff, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah, she's like very much a cameo character in this season for some reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're signed for 1 or 2 more seasons, so we're definitely getting more regardless. But I'd be completely content if they decided to like wrap it up in the next couple seasons. Yeah. I would like to see them do something else too. Like I just think they're all so talented that they all should have huge careers. Like I don't know. So what do you think of Secret Invasion episode 3 and 4?
My friend made a joke because he asked me the same, and I said it's fine or whatever, and he said, "Is that that's the tagline for the MCU now? Is MCU? It's fine or whatever." It's just like
it's true. So I totally agree.
It's whatever. Honestly, like it's not like it's bad. It's fine. It's whatever. It's not. I mean, I'm liking Samuel L. Jackson. I think he's great.
Yep.
I'm liking Talos. I think he's great. I'm liking the idea of like you don't know who's a Skrull and who is like I do like that. I think there's some fun to be had with it.
Yeah,
but I think as what's that? Oh yeah, we should probably but yeah, I think in regards to like it actually being like compelling, I'm not sure that it's
hitting
like
the mark.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like whatever's happening is just not going to really matter in the grand scheme of things. So.
I get that feeling as well.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. I think it's a totally
which sucks for such a character like Nick, who is just so interweaved into the whole universe. But
I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with Nick, but like I definitely feel like this could be the end of Nick by the end of this season. Like I don't know, where do you put him? Like you save him to come back in the Avengers movies. Like the character's kind of gone through every story beat they can. Like I don't know what else you could possibly do with Nick, especially as the character ages and Samuel Jackson ages. Like he's not going to be doing these like crazy fucking stunt work that he was in Winter Soldier 10 years ago. I don't know. Like I think the show is fine, but I don't think it's again hitting the mark of like must see compelling television. Like I don't think anybody needs to be rushing out and going, fucking 3 a.m. on Wednesday, you better be watching this shit, or midnight on the West Coast. Like you got to hop on Disney Plus and check this shit out. Like if you didn't catch it that day, man, you're going to be out of the conversation and around the water cooler at work. Like it just doesn't have that gravitas anymore. And for a storyline that's so beloved by comic fans to not have like any fanfare is like pretty telling, I think.
Yeah. I feel like that's kind of like, even like the part where what's Gravel? Is that his name? The main Super Skrull? Gravik. Even when he uses like that, his like Groot powers or whatever, like it felt so like blah. Like it felt like so whatever. Like, even trying to think back to what happened on the 1-2 weeks ago, it's like, it's all like foggy to me. Like
same. I didn't rewatch it today. I rewatched the last episode today, but like, I didn't rewatch last week's episode, and like I don't remember what happened in that episode versus episode 1 and 2 versus episode 4. Like,
it's hard to kind of like piece it all together, like and know what happened where.
Yeah, I agree with you. The Groot thing didn't really land. I thought it felt like very, I don't know, like
uninspired.
Yeah, for sure. And then like the whole what do you call it? The Iron Man 3 power shit.
Extremists?
Extremists, yeah. Like, I mean, it's just like, all right, we've seen this. Like, he's healing from the bullet wounds. Like, I don't know. It's not hitting the mark for sure. I wish. I mean, this episode was 30 minutes too, which was super disappointing.
Yeah.
we're a 6-episode series and you're going to put out a 30-minute up. Like, oh, come on, man. We got to move this along. We got to get a little more excitement.
Yeah, but does it matter? Like,
I just wish that we were getting something out of this. Like, I wish this was like moving the plot forward, and it's just it just kind of feels samey. I think we have some like hanging story threads that like I'm interested to see how they finish. The whole roadie thing, like we don't know. For people that aren't paying attention, roadies right now is a Skrull, and we don't know where the real roadie is. We don't know if he's alive still.
We don't know how long he's been gone.
Yeah, we don't know when.
I think Kevin Feige even kind of made a tease about that and said like it'll be interesting when people discover like for how long he's been compromised.
Well, that and like, does he even know Tony's dead?
That's like. I mean, again, that would be something that would be a cool callback and would add some emotion to like some weight to the story. So it'd be cool to see that for sure.
Like if it's pre-snap, then like
yep.
So there's definitely like those character, like those story threads that I'm like interested in seeing how they answer, and hopefully they do answer and they just don't leave them there. But like the less compelling part I think is the whole like Samuel Jackson's wife story thing. Mm-hmm. Like is we haven't had enough time with him and his wife. Like we just found out that he was married to have any emotional pull with these scenes. Or like I didn't think they were very well done. I think a lot of the like dialogue is like kind of like bland and
clunky
and like it just doesn't really feel like there's any emotion behind it.
It's whatever. I mean, again, it's whatever. It's fine.
2 more episodes.
We'll
see.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the hard part for me is I just don't really know where we're heading. Like, it's like, we obviously know that there's Skrulls and the higher up in the government, but
but like the last episode, the end of the last episode, we see that he has a chance to basically kill the president, and he doesn't take it. And I'm like, what is your end game then?
Yeah,
like it doesn't make any sense to me. Like you have the president's car flipped over, he's barely escaping out of this. Great, you killed Talos, or assuming you killed Talos.
You think he's dead?
I kind of have a feeling that they're going to do that to bring in his daughter as the main character.
I do too.
But I don't know. Who knows?
I mean, it's crazy to think that we're in a show where we're watching one character who's been with us for a long time, and Colby Smuthers, and as what's her name?
Maria Hill.
And she dies, and then if we lose Talos too, like that'd be pretty surprising. But yet, it does the season doesn't move the needle. Like it's just like it's crazy that even when you're throwing like some relatively decent sized deaths into this, it's still.
But they're all nothing. Such like C characters.
I know, but still.
No, I agree. But like that's my problem is like we haven't seen Maria Hill in 10 years, really, do anything. I mean, we see her
here and there, but she was in Homecoming not Homecoming, Far From Home, and
I guess, but like
in Endgame.
And then like Talos, like really, we haven't had any time with him at all outside of the Captain Marvel. So like, again, it's that like we don't have enough time with these characters to have any emotional pull of them when they're dying. Like it didn't affect me in any emotional way when Talos died. I was just like, all right, is he dead? I don't know. They killed off his daughter last week, and then of course she had Extremis in her and comes back to life. And I'm like, all right, kind of figured that much, but it just feels very like paint by numbers. Yeah. Neil saying it hasn't had a plot twist that made me carry it. Just kind of shrug, and I'm like, okay, yeah, and that's how I feel. It's like, okay. I'm not disappointed. I'm just like, it's just bland. It's just all right. It's like a solid 6.5 out of 10. Like it's just like, this isn't compelling enough where I'm like, fuck yeah, man, you guys gotta fucking check this show out. So
I agree. That's pretty much where I'm at too. I'm still watching it right when it comes out because it's just part of my schedule. It's part of my routine. Yeah. Tuesday night, I do my thing, go for a walk, come home and watch the newest episode of Disney Plus, But yeah, it's just like
I'm very curious to see how it ends, just to see how it sets up the rest, the next section of the MCU, but like
if it even does.
Yeah, I don't know where it's going. I have no, like, 2 episodes left, and I have no idea really where the end game of this series is. So
yeah,
hopefully the next 2 episodes are meaty and really, push the plot along. But
yeah, I hope so.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is the last we see Samuel L. Jackson as Fury. It wouldn't surprise me.
Think so?
I don't know, but I just don't know where else he fits in. Really, he's not gonna.
I mean, you could always find room. The thing is like, I could see him being in the Marvels for sure because he has history.
Yeah, maybe that's true. I didn't think of that, but it's also, it would be like very much the same first movie.
Yeah,
I think they kind of want to go in a different direction with it. I would assume
maybe
maybe a cameo in like one of the Avengers movies of like him trying to get the new team together or something like that, and then kind of has a similar, he dies.
Yeah, he's like, I'm putting together a team.
Yeah, for nostalgia
Avengers
reasons.
Initiative.
Yeah, part 2.
Keep on avenging.
Yeah, exactly. Die Hard 2, Die Harder.
Die Harder.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I hope the last 2 episodes just really fucking crush it. But
yeah, me too. Me too. I would love to come out of it not being disappointed, but I'm just worried that I'm going to be disappointed. Or actually, I should say that because I'm not actually worried. Because the fact of the matter is I don't really care that much. So
no, same. That's how I kind of feel too. Is like, I think 5 years ago this would have really disappointed me. Now it's just like, man, it is what it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
True that.
But what do we got after this? Anything? Like, they haven't actually put out an MCU show date, I don't think, for anything else.
No, I don't think, not for dates. No. I don't think so.
I don't know if the next thing's Captain or the Marvels, or if there's another show that's going to be before that.
Well, Echo technically, but it's all dropping at once.
Oh, right.
We'll have to see how busy I am with work with Echo if I can do.
Well, I think that's November, isn't it?
Is it?
I think it's a long time away.
I don't know if I'll be able to like binge it, but I might be able to do a couple or 2 or 3 a week or something like that. But we'll.
No, we can always space.
We'll figure it out when we get there.
Chunk it out in 2 episodes or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm
not expecting Echo to move the needle for me, so
me either.
Going in with very low expectations on that one as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try to see Mission Impossible this week.
Oh, nice.
I would like to go see Oppenheimer next weekend, but I don't know if I'll be able to. But sometime
I'm going to go with my dad, with my father-in-law.
Yeah. So that we'll definitely talk about those over the next 2 episodes, probably, or 3 episodes, whatever.
Well, next week I'll be fresh out of Barbie, so I'm going to see Barbie on Saturday. So
nice.
I'll be able to talk about Barbie.
So Matt can talk about Barbie, and I can talk about Mission Impossible probably next week.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have episode 5 of Secret Invasion, the last episode of Always Sunny, and whatever other shenanigans we get up to over the week.
Whatever porn I watched this week.
Yeah, Do Me Nurses 6. What are you doing on Whip Wednesday?
9.
Exactly.
Whip Wednesday this week. I have my buddy Justin from Resilient Customs coming on. We're just gonna catch up. We haven't talked like that in a while, and we'll probably talk about SDCC. I could imagine that this week we got a bunch of reveals for like exclusives and shit. I'm guessing next week we'll probably see more of them. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a decent showing of stuff on Wednesday as like a preview. So I'm hoping on Wednesday night we'll have that to talk about.
All figure related, I assume.
Yeah, mostly figure related. Yeah. So, and then the week after that is going to be
season finale,
Secret Santa or Summer Swap review, and Secret Santa pimping session because trying to get our Secret Santa numbers up. It's a bummer this year. There's a bunch of regulars who have been doing it with us forever and ever and ever who aren't doing that. Man, I'm very interested. I mean, I won't lie. My wife is definitely the one who's pushing us to go see Barbie because she really wants to, but I'm definitely intrigued by Barbie because I'm curious to see what the fuck the plan is for that. Like, I don't feel like it's going to be what everyone thinks it's going to be. I think it's going to be different. I think it's going to be weird, but it's also weird. And it's like one of the podcasts I listened to, The Weekly Planet, they were doing like this deep dive into apparently Mattel is saying like based off of the positive reactions that Barbie's getting so far, they want to like explore all these different things in the Mattel universe. So like they're talking about doing like an Uno movie where it's like a spy thriller, and it's like, what?
I mean, I don't think you could pay me to go see Barbie. Honestly, like if somebody was like, "Here's a free ticket, let's go see Barbie tonight," I think I would say I'd rather stay home. Like, there's nothing about that movie that remotely compels me to see it.
Not even Margot Robbie?
I love Margot Robbie, and I'll just like look at pictures of her online.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, there's nothing about that movie that I can't stand the like look of it. I think the trailer was awful. I don't know. Nothing about it looks.
I actually didn't watch the last trailer that came out, so I'm kind of going in blind, but I'm more intrigued by it than anything else.
Yeah, no,
I wouldn't say that I'm excited for it, but
sure.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to know what the big deal is, because it seems like early reactions are very, very positive, and I'm curious how you take something like Barbie and make it interesting, because I'm not quite sure.
So. I have a feeling that movie's going to bomb, but that's just
well, me. I mean, the fact of the matter is that everything in theaters bombs now. That's the problem. If you look at anything that's come out of this year, they've all bombed, everything except Guardians, really. But
I just think Oppenheimer is going to take all the monies, and I honestly, I know they're two different audiences for sure, but like I don't think that families are going to go take their kids to see Barbie. Like I think people are just going to stay home, and I think like adult people that are going to the movies are just going to go, all right, we're going to see Oppenheimer.
I think opposite.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I think Barbie has family movie written all over it.
It does. I'm just saying, I don't think people are going to the theater, so I don't think families are going to say, "Oh, let's go pay $100 to go see a Barbie movie together." Like, I think they're just going to say, "Hey, it'll be on Disney Plus in 3 months. We'll wait."
Yeah, maybe. I guess we'll have to see how it goes next week. But yeah, I like I said, I'm intrigued. I'm just intrigued as to how you do Barbie as a movie and make it make sense. So I'm intrigued by that, but otherwise, whatever. It is what it is.
I'm interested to see what you think. I mean, sure, why not?
Yeah. And then I'll see Oppenheimer or whatever, like, sooner than later, probably in the next few weeks.
Yeah, I don't know exactly when my timeline is on seeing it, but I'd like to see it opening night.
I'd like to see it in theaters, just because. Are you still talking about wanting to see Barbie while live on the air? Yeah. You still talking? Yeah, I am. I do want to see. Like I said, it's not like I picked it, but I mean, I am interested to see what makes Barbie movie interesting. So we'll see. Maybe it won't be. Maybe I'll get here next week and be like, well, that was
a train wreck.
That was a fucking lame as fuck.
And I'm interested to see that take too.
Yeah. Hey, I'm here to give it as I see it. So
yeah, no, for sure. I didn't think you'd go see Indiana Jones, so I'm interested.
I was surprised by Indiana Jones, but again, talk about another movie that bombed.
Yeah, well, like I said, Disney's tanking pretty hard right now.
Everything's bombing, man. Everything, even Flash.
I'm interested.
Did you see that?
Yeah,
lost another 1,000 theaters last week. That's not good.
They have to make room for Mission Impossible and Oppenheimer, man.
The biggest WB failure in its entire history.
Yeah, no, I think they said
crazy.
The movie's going to lose $200 million. I think they said
$250 million.
Yeah, that's brutal. That's fucking brutal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Aquaman's going to lose more probably. So,
yep, the trend will continue.
We'll see. But I'm excited to see your last couple Whip Wednesdays. I know you're taking probably a long break after that, but
yeah, it's gonna be a while. I think it's gonna be at least, especially like with the right now with the whole studio thing.
Yeah.
It's a process, right? Like,
yeah, for sure. It's gonna take a long time.
to get a permit. Yeah, I'm looking at 6 to 8 weeks probably, and then to build it, I'm looking at probably about the same.
Yeah.
And then before I start doing live streams, I'm probably going to need to like set it all up, which, you know how long it takes me to do shelves. Well, instead of having
it's going to be 6
18,
months.
I'm going to have 24. So realistically, I'll see you in 2024. So
yeah, it's probably going to be January 2024.
Yeah. But I mean, to be honest with you, after having that live stream I did with Face Customs a couple weeks ago, I'm considering like not doing Whip Wednesdays anymore. I'm considering like doing something different. I'm kind of considering doing like mini series kind of things where I do like a different topic each week with a select panel that changes, you know. So I'll do like 4 shows with a panel, and then I'll take a little break, and then I'll do another 4 shows, and like maybe they'll be live, maybe they'll be pre-recorded. I'm not exactly sure the exact game plan, but
yeah,
I'm definitely thinking about shaking it up a little bit. So
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, man. I mean,
yeah, we'll see. I still might do live streams where I do like customize and stuff, but
that's what I was gonna say. I think there's room for both. I think you know, there's just you don't have to commit to one thing or the other. You can say, hey, this week we're gonna do a customizing live, and you know, next week I'm gonna have a panel on, and next week we're not gonna have an episode at all, and you know, you can just play by ear. I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna see. I have some ideas, but I just I don't know. I think it's more fun when I can bounce stuff off of somebody who I have chemistry with.
Totally.
You know, even the other night when you jumped on, it's like, I don't know. I feel like we have good chemistry. So it's like when I have someone to do that with, you know, it's different when you're interviewing somebody. I mean, I like that part too, but it's also like, it's just always this. It's just the same. It's always the same kind of, right? I don't know. I don't know. I think the break will help. And like will probably help me kind of so
no, I think a topic idea is great, man. Like when you both go in knowing what the topic is, and you don't have to answer the same 10 questions every single time of like, oh, where'd you get your start, what's your, you know, favorite figure, well, you know, what are you into, kind of thing. Like you can definitely do
Thanks, Neil.
No, I think you're great at interviewing people, and like I definitely think like that's cool that you're doing people that maybe don't have as big audiences, or people that have bigger audiences, even just like giving them a different group of people to see, you know, put eyes on their products or their work or whatever. Like I think that's interesting, but
I just think it would be cooler to have like a predetermined topic. And again, it's not even just be not one person. It might be like like, you know, a panel, right? Like you know, like, you know. Yeah, so like when I had that conversation with Face a few weeks ago, we went for over 2 hours, and then we got off the call and talked for another hour until I actually was like, hey, it actually hurts to talk because like my voice is still fucked. So I'm like, I need to go. But like, it was awesome. And I'm just like, I need to find people who are like that with me. Like, you know, we have that. We could just talk and talk and talk and talk. Sure. But it's like, I need more people like that to, you know.
No, like I said to you before, like I would love to do a second podcast more like geared towards video games and stuff that's not really in your wheelhouse, but like to find somebody to commit to a regular, you know, weekly episode, it's difficult, man. It's a time commitment, and
not everyone can do it, right?
Not everyone can do it. So when you switch people out weekly and you don't have the same group of people, it makes it a lot easier on you know, the product. But
so we'll see what happens. But still got 2 more Whip Wednesdays. Both of them are with guests. One's, I mean, I guess they're both friends, but I'm excited for both, but I'm pretty excited for the Secret Santa one. So
nice.
Or the summer swap one. I mean, I think that's going to be a goodie.
All right. Well, that ends this episode. If you're not already following us, please follow us at Moose Smoke Media and at Customs by Matthew.
Go back Odious. You only got 12 hours, not even.
Oh, there you go.
You only got 10 hours, 9 hours, 11 hours, something like that.
That's a Kickstarter that
Unparalleled. Yeah, Unparalleled Universes is Kickstarter. It's finishing up tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And back it because I want them. So fucking go back it. That way I can get the toys that I want. He's close. He's only 10 grand off. That's great. Like 2 days ago, he was like 40 grand off. So that's a good sign. I think we're going to hit it, but let's just make sure we do. So
right on.
Hashtag back Odious or else.
He said it. I got nothing to add. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube. You can grab the podcast on podcast services, and we will see you next week for episode 121. Thank you, Neil, for unfollowing. We will miss you, but you got to do what you got to do, brother.
Yeah, we'll see you next week, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, you'll be back. With these hot nips, you'll be back.
Yeah, it's true. We blast the nips all day long.
Thanks, everybody, and we will catch you next week.
Peace.
Later.